is poppin' YouTube? It is your boy Jesimein. Today we finally have my skill build. A lot of people have been asking me to make it since I am known for that. That was what I first did when I first made my sticky bomb video. So this is my version of what I believe you should be running if you plan on running skill builds. This isn't necessarily catered towards just like seeker mines or just anything in particular. It's more like a jack of all trades type, like mastery of all skills. So without further ado, let's get into it. As you guys can see, I shoot oxygen. I have no firearms, but that is the point of this build. I don't really need to use my weapon. It's not the basis of it, but the gun I will be using is the Midas, and the reason I chose the Midas is because of its third ability, where each bullet you hit reduces your damage by 1% and your target damage by 1%. So instead of just shooting meaningless bullets, I'm actually doing something to my enemy and able to help out my team, especially if I'm nerfing, you know, an NPC or nerfing another player in a DZ or last stand. So that's why I chose to use Midas. I don't really care about the talents. It's just I just use the Midas talent itself, just so I can feel like I'm doing something when I'm shooting somebody, so that my gun won't be 100% useless. But yeah, as you guys can go into the stats, once again, I'm very squishy. This is like a glass cannon in reverse for skills. My toughness is at 243. My skill power is at 441 standing though. And the reason it is because of these two mixed up with a 3-piece Tactician. But let's get into the details of this. Barrett's bulletproof vest, roll towards electronics. I wish I had skill haste, but I don't. But I have health on this. I also switch off between vigorous, and I actually have skill haste on this. So if I feel like running booster and having my overheal, which is pretty much a smarter option as far if you're going for healing or whatnot. But usually I would probably go between vigorous or Barrett's, but I use this for overheal since I have so much skill power that my overheal basically does what defib would do to allies. So let's go into my mask. You'll see I have skill power, roll for electronics, Tactician's authority. My knee pads, skill power, roll for electronics. My backpack is an inventive backpack, and I use inventive because since I am so squishy, any heal that I pop, I'm going to be at full health no matter what. So I get the extra 15%, especially when, like, let's say I'm using a Seeker Mine. If I pop as a Seeker Mine when I'm at full health, it's going to have the full effect even if I start getting shot. It's at the moment of the pop. So that's why it's so amazing to use this instead of Specialized, just to get that whopping 15%. And it's, dude, I'm telling you, this is a big difference, especially when you're a skill build. You want to be able to have your skills popped at full health anyway, since you want to be surviving, especially if you have skill haste. So yeah, going into my gloves, I have electronic gloves. Don't really care about the major attributes except skill haste. I have skill haste rolled on this, and of course you go to 1265 on electronics, and that's a holster with skill haste. So that's pretty much the build itself. Just like I said, the two key things on top of Tacticians itself is these two pieces, because they both give you skill power. Barrett's gives you 10% skill power when no skills are on cooldown. So all the time, you know, basically your first pop is everything. So make sure like if you plan on using a seeker or like a turret, pop that first so that you can get the full effect of it, the full 4. Like for example, I will get my 441 when I pop my first skill whenever it's deployed, and it'll have that amount of health or damage as it's popped. And inventive is the same thing. Don't use, like, if you have a seeker or a turret or sticky bomb, whatever you do that you need actual high number skill power for, use that first and make sure you have health. Don't try to like pop it when you're at like one shot or anything unless you have your full heal anyway. So anytime you pop your heal, you should be at full heal anyways. And overheal counts, unlike last patch where if you had overheal and it got shot a little bit, it loses. No, if you're an overheal in this patch, it still considers you at full health, which is really good. So going into my abilities, I'll go into detail so you guys can see. My damage pulse is at 67%. My scrambler is at 52%. My recon is at 59%. So you have 3 choices of insane amounts of pulse damage. The reason mines are so high right now is because I do have pulse mods in, but that's what I said, it's a jack of all trades skill. All you have to do is change your mods, and you're basically built towards that. So that's that. Going into my health, you can see my defib heals allies for 400,000 and myself for 224. And my overdose heals myself for 4,000 and heals others for 224. And then my booster shot heals for 239 all across the board. So incredible numbers, man. No matter which one I use, my teammates will get a full overheal if they're rare and vigorous, or full health, period. My support station, I'll just go into this so you guys can see. I don't really use it, but for those who, you know, if you wanted to spec into like support station mods, it'd be pretty good, man. And of course you go into sticky bomb, you can see how amazing, 1.2 million damage. Too bad it's nerfed, but just like so you can see the cooldowns are pretty good. Flame turret without fire crest is sitting at 14,000 without any mods, so you can get creative there and see what that will go up to. The recon hits for 12k, and the shock turret just has 227 health. But you can see look at the health on the Dragon Breath, 500,000, man, and that's without any turret health mods. So just so you guys know that. And of course the infamous Seeker, it's 186 standing without Seeker Mine mods. If you put mods, it goes up to like somewhere it's like 206 or something like that, which is crazy, man, insane. Let's go into the ballistic shield. You can see the ballistic shield is at 3.7 million health on the reactor targeting, and even the assault shield is at 1.8 million. You can just see the numbers. It's amazing, man. Just the fact that the drop offs on skill power goes this high. Trapper, you can see recharger 49%, and you can see this is pretty much old school smart cover if you really look at it. And this is without, once again, the only thing I have as far as mods are on pulse, so these are all just based off of skill power. These can all be raised with 4 different mods. So just looking at that, going into this, 6.2 million health on this. That's crazy. Blast shield and countermeasure. So yeah, that's pretty much the skills. So you can see the skills, their stats on it. Now as far as talents, this is where it can get kind of tricky. Let me switch this real quick. Always run triage, of course, because you're gonna have that skill haste. Even if it's not the same as last patch, it's still good to have, especially when you're running seekers, or you're running turrets, or you're running something that can really make or break a fight. You can switch off between critical save to combat medic if you want to heal. You know, actually I'll put that on, but for more healing capabilities for your team, strike back, and then this can change. I like tech support. You can use chain reaction, of course, if you're using seekers, as well as wildfire. And you know, you can kind of mix it up between demolition expert. I don't really recommend this because it's too hard to have another explosive go off after 15 seconds. Like, it's just not worth it. But like I said, the best ones that you want to make sure you have: triage, combat medic, and strike back. Anything in the fourth can be whatever you like based off of whatever you're using, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much the build. We can go into my hard stats so you guys can see it. I'm curious to see my own health. My health is at 169 with 30 mitigation. If you go to my skill power, 441 with 29% skill haste. This can also go up if I were to switch onto my vigorous chest and then add electronic mods that have skill haste. But the ones I am currently using are all skill power with electronics, if you guys hadn't seen already. Except one, because I didn't really have another one, but for the most part they're all for skill power, which makes my skill power sit that high. In last stand it's well over 500k, so you know, if you're a last stand player and you build towards this, you have a deadly build regardless. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted you guys to see how my build works, how the stats line up with everything for those who want to build a skill build. This is possibly the way to go, man. If you want my true opinion on it, the safest, most effective ways to run it is a pulse. If you have 3 DPSers, you want to run this pulse. You want to have maxed out pulse, try to hit 70%. Some people can get higher rolls than me and get it up to 70%, but that's what you want to run. If you want to be a hold down, your turret will shred. I mean, you put turret damage on this, you're shredding people. It does like 8,000. Like it's almost like you're shooting them with a submachine gun without crits over and over and over and over and over. And of course, the deadly Seeker Mine that everybody hates, that's possibly going to be nerfed into the dirt. I don't know if the damage over time is negatable, but they said that this is getting nerfed, so you guys don't have to worry about this being a problem. Just know that this is going to break one of these skills will end up being broken. We will find out, but this is possibly the most intense way to run it. I'm not going to say this is the only way to run a skill build, but if you really want to go all in for electronics, this is the way to run the build, you know what I'm saying? So once again, as a quick overview, Midas, so I can nerf my opponents down 20% damage so I can survive longer. I use Brett, so I have the outstanding 10% when I don't have my skills popped. Inventive for just the big boost in skill power when I'm at full health. 3-piece Tactician for the skill haste, and skill power, and the 4-piece to just go overkill mode with 30% bonus when your teammates are putting damage or bullets into the enemy. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. Hope you guys enjoyed it, man. I want you guys to have a lot of fun with this build. Enjoy it. If you're a skill builder, this is the way to run it, you know what I'm saying? But without further ado, thank you guys for stopping by. The skill build has been revealed. Your boy is out.